Hello and welcome to the Ridiculously Good VA Show with Tracy Daviero. If you are a virtual assistant or want to be one, this is the place to learn the tips and tricks you need to become a ridiculously good VA. I've been a part of the VA industry since 1998, and I'm excited to get to know you and help you build an amazing business. Let's go. Hello and welcome to another episode of the podcast that teaches you how to be a ridiculously good virtual assistant. Today we're going to talk about marketing, in particular inbound marketing, and how to do it well to get clients. Our quote today is from Mike Volpe. Don't interrupt what your buyers want to consume, be what they want to consume. And I love this quote because it's very clearly talking about what we should be doing, especially on social media. We don't want people scrolling past us to get to the next person. We want them to stop. I love this quote for inbound marketing. And that's what we're talking about today. Last episode, if you recall, we talked about outbound marketing, which is reaching out to clients. So this week we're covering the other half of what I call the essentials of marketing. We'll do a quick recap first. What is marketing? Marketing is really the act of putting your VA business in front of people. Instead of thinking of it as advertising or publicity, which is what we have called it in the corporate world, think of it more as visibility and sales or getting clients, and focusing on increasing your visibility so that your clients can decide on their own to buy. As Mike Volpe says, be what they want to consume. So put out there what it is that they want to see and do it often and do it everywhere that they are. Why do we need to do marketing? Learning how to market your business is one of the best things that you can do to guarantee the longevity of your VA business. Because, of course, it brings in clients, which is revenue, and revenue keeps you in business. So the more marketing tasks that you can do well or right, the less you actually have to do. And I love helping VAs create a plan and a strategy to get their marketing done, because when you do work with a plan and when you do really do a little bit of homework in terms of where your people are and therefore where you need to be, you can really market your business in 20 minutes a day. It's honestly the truth, and you can do it whenever you have the essentials set up. So a quick recap too on the essentials. 5 things that are the essentials of marketing. What is your offer? What do you want people to buy? What is the thing that you're selling? Obviously, these are our services as VAs, but what is the offer? What is it that you want people to buy? Number 2, how much will it cost them? Very, very important to do your rates and figure out your rates. I think I talked a little bit more in detail about these 5 essentials in last episode. So if you haven't heard of all of these, you do want to catch that one as well. Number 3, who is going to buy it? Who are your clients? And this is absolutely essential for inbound marketing. You need to find where your people are so that they can happen upon you, right? And they can consume what it is you're putting out there. And where are they? That's obviously the next piece. Where will they see you and where can you see them? And number 5, what will you say to them before, during, and after meeting them during that know, like, and trust phase, as they start to get to know you, as they start to get to trust you and like you and decide that they want to hire you to do their work. So inbound marketing is what we're talking about today. That's your content that helps people see you and connect with you or reach out to you. So it is attracting them into you, which is where the in comes from. Outbound marketing, like I said last week, is the other stuff. It's the actions and content that help you reach out to others to connect with them. So you're reaching out. With inbound marketing, you're attracting them in. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Inbound marketing includes things like freebies, list building, emailing, posting to social media, videos, blogging, and your website. And when we talk about marketing, these are the things that likely come top of mind to you very, very quickly, because when we think of marketing, we think about putting all kinds of stuff out there to showcase our expertise, to increase the visibility of our business, and to basically get people to see us, right? Now, not all VAs need a freebie and list building and an email list and all that kind of thing. Probably the social media and maybe the blogging and definitely the website are things that you've considered for your VA business before. But it is really important to have people find you. And when we are talking about social media, we want to remember all the time that we don't own our social media. We at best rent it. And so anything that you have that can pull people over to your website that you own, or pull them onto an email list that is yours that you own, that's always a better thing. And so we want to always be attracting people, but being able to follow up with them as well. And so that's kind of why we recommend that you have an email list and that you're doing some list building with free offers and that type of thing, but not to make it a huge, way that you're going to be marketing your business, because you don't need thousands of people on your email list if you're only looking for a few clients, but you do want to be able to capture those names and be able to follow up with those people for sure. So, and no matter which type of marketing you're doing, you need leads in order to get sales conversations so you can get clients. You need everything that you do to lead to that sales conversation. And that's why we call it a lead. So I'll talk about a few different things in terms of inbound marketing, and hopefully they will give you some tips and some information about what you can be doing a little bit better in your strategy or in your VA business. Social media, obviously, we start with, and social media posting is super, but you have to have the right plan. And I find that VAs often do it wrong. You're not really clear on what you should be putting out there. I know that I see it all the time in the VA forums and the VA groups that, people just aren't sure what they're supposed to be posting. And so, again, it comes back to that. Whatever you're doing, make sure that it's working for you, and make sure that you're able to do less because you're doing things well, right? Do better at what you're doing. And so that it definitely includes your content on social media. So you want to be writing about things or posting things that are relevant to your clients, not about running your virtual assistant business and not posting your services offers all the time and, telling people you have a special deal on. That's all well and good when you're doing, when you're running your business, that's okay. But in order to attract clients, you really want to be putting quality content out there that is valid and relevant to them and interesting to them. And so if you are offering a service for course creators, if you support course creators, for example, you want to be putting out information that is valid for them, either the platforms that they use. So if they're using Thinkific or Kajabi or something else to run their systems, then, you want to be able to share your expertise about those systems. If you use those to support your clients, you want to put out content that is from them, or, reviews and all that kind of thing are important. But, if you're looking at certain platforms, or if you're talking about certain platforms, new things that they've put out, updates that they've done, ways to use certain things are really, really good things in social media. And that will attract your clients who are using those, or who are not sure if those are the systems that they use or the platforms that they need. So it's up to you to showcase the services that they're using, the platforms that they're using. And because you know about them and you're the one who has all the knowledge about how to run the courses and how to create the courses and all that type of thing, that's what you share with your clients. And in your content, that is the thing that will attract them. You will become their information source. And that's what we always want to be doing, right? You don't want to be on social media all day long trying to do your marketing. So when you focus on the things that are interesting to your clients, that's what's going to really help you get better quality content out there. And like I say, if you're consistently posting the best information about, that course creators want to consume, they're going to be stopping at you and not at somebody else. And that brings me to my next point, which is about marketing, or pardon me, messaging. My goodness, words are failing me today. It's been a long day. When your messaging is on point, you can definitely do less and have it work harder for you. So although yes, you can be posting, about offers that you have, if you're have an opening for a client and that kind of thing, you want to put a lot more really good stuff in there, and messaging is a big part of that. So you need to be really clear what it is that how it is that you help your clients. And so I help virtual assistants create what I call a concise marketing message. And basically we talk about what it is that they do. And there's a little formula I can tell you. It's that I help, and then you say who you help. So you choose a target audience with there, and you name very clearly what the task is: email management, social media, course creation, group programs, whatever it is, so that they can, and then you get some really distinct benefits, some really, really important things that the client gets by working with you. And then at the end of that, I say, I add on in my concise marketing message, because and what that does is it helps you showcase yourself and your expertise that you're bringing to your clients. And so it's not an elevator pitch, not by any stretch. It is about messaging. And so when you know who you help, and specifically the tasks that you help them with, why that's important to the client, and why they should choose you as the person to hire, that's what the concise marketing message tells you. And it really, really clarifies too what kind of content you should be putting out there, and the things that you can write about, the things that you can share, the images that you can create that will be distinctive to you, and that kind of thing. And so, like I say, then you're doing less because you're having what you're putting out there is working harder for you. It's never one and done. Social media should never be one and done. We want to make sure that we're building from pillars, and talking about the sort of main concepts all the time. I often tell virtual assistants that we should be using 4 main topics, and I choose 4 because you can rotate them. You can focus on one this week, time management, maybe project management next week, whatever your services are. They have to be obviously related to your service. And so rotate them 1, 2, 3, 4, and then next month 1, 2, 3, 4. Makes it really easy to collect information and be able to really provide quality stuff, or create quality stuff, because you're being really focused. And then when anybody goes to look at, because that's what we're trying to do with the inbound, is when anybody goes to look at what you have put out there on your blog, on your website, on your social media, wherever, they're going to see consistent stuff, and they're going to see really, really focused information about something that is, of interest to them. It's very important. And then, of course, setting up a system for your digital marketing is going to be really important as well, so that you get the best results. The next thing is search engine optimization, and you probably heard it called SEO. And it's very key for any online content. It's basically, I'm going to give you a training in SEO right now. But if you take SEO training, you'll learn about the importance of the words that you use, and how the search engines use those to put your content in front of the right people, right? And so in general, that's sort of the more technical aspect of it. But in general, we're looking at hashtags and keywords. And so you want to be able to take that content, whatever you're spending your time on, and again, making it work harder for you. So what do you need to do? You need to not be an SEO specialist necessarily, but you need to use the words that people will use, that will help them find you when they're looking for something. And I know for me, I never used to get any real traction on social media and that kind of thing. And I'll tell you exactly why I didn't. Not on social media, pardon me, in searches. And I couldn't figure out why. And I have a colleague who's very good at SEO. And I just knew that I was writing a blog post every single week, sometimes more than one a week. And I was doing my social media and stuff, but my blogs in particular were not getting indexed by the search engines. And so I asked this colleague of mine, and we were actually in an airport. It was kind of funny now that I think about it. We were sitting in an airport waiting for a plane. We had attended a live event, and not sure which one it was now, probably in Atlanta. Anyway, we had attended this event, and so she said, take out your laptop and show me what you are seeing and what you're doing. And so we looked over my blog post. And so I wrote quite a bit at that time. I still do. But because I knew who my audience was, I knew that I was writing to virtual assistants. I didn't use the word virtual assistant very much in my titles, actually hardly at all in my titles, or in my SEO, or in the actual article. And she said, well, here's the problem right here. You're not using your keywords. My biggest keyword is virtual assistant. I mean, that's who I help. And I didn't have it in most of my articles or my titles, because I just thought, well, they're here. They know that that's who I'm writing to. So I'm not going to say you're a virtual assistant. Oh, and you as a virtual assistant. I'm not going to say that because they know they're a virtual assistant. They're here. But the key is that we need the search engines to pull those articles up and show them to people when they're looking to be a virtual assistant, or to, some of the topics that I've covered, time management for virtual assistants, setting your rates, whatever it is. And so the search engines are the ones who need those words in there. And I didn't know this was a really long time ago, but I didn't know anything about it. And I will tell you, we went in and we put in, lots of keywords. We used the search engine um, plugin that I, of course, had on my website. And lo and behold, all of a sudden, I was starting to rank very, very well in all of the things that I wanted to rank well in, because I had spent the time to do it. And so it is really, really important. And I'm absolutely not an SEO specialist, but I do know my keywords. I do use the hashtags that I'm supposed to use whenever I am creating content, and it makes it work harder for you, right? There's no point in doing all this work and then not and then having to just redo it every single week. And that's the other piece too, about if you are blogging regularly, or if you are, creating new content on your website regularly, then it's really important too that if you have sort of 4 pillars that you talk about, and I'll talk about that in a second anyway, but if you have like 4 main topics, then you know that you're going to be updating things and search engines like that, and you're going to be using similar keywords and similar hashtags because you're limiting the amount of content that you're putting out. So my next topic is blogging, of course. And like I said earlier, writing blogs is great because you own your website, you own your blog, and you can guide people to where you want to guide them on your own site. We want to put a call to action at the end of everything. And that all that does is tell them what to do next. You don't want them sort of fiddling around on your website or going someplace else because they've read an article and they've gotten to the end of it. You want to tell them what they need to do next, because they're there, they're learning about you, they're knowing, liking, and trusting you, and you want them to take that extra step and read another article, or download something, or schedule a discovery call with you, whatever that is. And blogging also is really, really good to do because you can write, you don't have to write 1,800 word blog posts. Mine average between 400 and 600 words. And that is plenty. You can just give people a little snapshot every week, and then you can obviously create more, right? If I were writing an 1,800 word blog post, then that's almost what I write in a whole month, So I have 4 articles as opposed to just one. So you want to make sure that you are really reusing that kind of thing too. And so if you take a 400 word blog post, you can easily repurpose some content out of that. And I'm not going to get into a lot of repurposing on this session, but for sure, it's not one and done. You take that content and you can write social media captions, you can create carousels, you can do lots and lots of different things with a single blog article. And so your content can go a lot farther for you. Now, when we talk about your content specifically, I want you to be really clear that you're writing for your clients. You're not writing for you. I said that right off the top, that VAs often do their social media wrong because they're busy writing about me, 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 me. I need clients. I have an opening for my clients. And being a VA is so great. And here's the difference. You should hire a VA because it'll save you time and money. Lots of the VA's posts are the same out there. And so for you to stand out, you want to become the expert. So like I say, you talk about the things that your clients need you to know about. So what does that mean? Well, think about the things that you're doing for your clients and the platforms that you're using, like I said, or the general tasks that you're doing. If you're looking after client care for your clients, you can write all kinds of things about how you do a very good job at that. And what that means is you can talk about tips on how to do it better. You can talk about how to onboard a virtual assistant and why you should work with them to do that kind of thing. But use things like client stories of yours and get really specific about what it is that you do well and your clients will see that as well. And being able to share exactly what it is that you do also puts into perspective. A lot of people don't know what a VA does, and they have a image in their mind of what it is that we do, and it's not always the same. It's actually probably very different from what you actually provide as services. So it's your showcase, it's your stage for you to be able to showcase what it is that you do and exactly what it would be like to work with you, right? So, for example, and you always want to base your content on services that you offer. So, again, not trying to put a sales post up and sell them, but for example, a bookkeeper would write about taxes, expense tips, resources, where to go to get the answers about things, organization tips, industry info, and then would reference the things that she does for her clients. Not about being a VA, because people will figure that part out, but referencing things that she does for her clients. So, oh my gosh, I went the other day and I did all of the tax remittances. I don't know, whatever the bookkeepers will do. But you can definitely talk very clearly about the things that you've done for people and how important it is to do it on time, or how easy it is to organize things, or create a system for things so that you can send them to a bookkeeper. Whatever it is, there's so much information. If you go and you look at the sort of the busiest bookkeepers, you can see that they've got some content out there that is really, really valid to their clients. And so what's going to work for you is based wholly on your services. Creating content. Now, here's where I'm getting to talking about the 4 topics. And so when you create that sort of concise marketing message, you get really clear on what it is that you do for your clients. Like I say, why it helps them and why they should hire you over somebody else because of your expertise. But if you decide on 4 main topics to write about, you can rotate those weekly and repeat every single month, right? And then repurpose that content, like I said earlier. It creates some consistency and some cohesiveness, which absolutely will showcase your expertise. If you're writing really, if you're writing very, very different things every week because you're not really sure, you don't have a plan, and you have a million categories on your website, you are basically just putting yourself out there to help everybody. When you get really specific and you know that you help health coaches with their courses, or you help financial people, financial coaches, or financial consultants with their podcast, whatever it is, when you know what it is, who you help, your content will be just that much more tightened up. And like I say, you can do less, but it will bring you more effort. It will bring you more results, that's for sure. So get inspired. When you have 4 main content topics, it's a lot easier to collect great information to support them. I highly advise getting a swipe file when you are starting to create content, or not getting a swipe file, but creating one. And all that is, it can be a bookmark in your browser. It can be a notes app on your phone, whatever it is. So it can be digital files, Google Drive or whatever. And basically, it's things that you want to be able to use, right? Stats, quotes, that kind of thing. But also, if you like the look of something that somebody has put out and you want to model it, there's nothing wrong with modeling. We don't want to copy things, but if you like, fonts that people use, or images I have all kinds of Facebook ad images that I have um, that I put into my swipe file, because if I do them, they spoke to me, and I'm like, this is what I'd like my layout to look like. And I'm not a very creative person. So this is what I want to be able to see. Yes, these are, sort of the similar words that I want to put on, and that kind of thing. So those are the kinds of things that you can do, because if you're only writing about 4 things regularly, then in your regular surfing, so this is not taking you extra time in your regular surfing, you can take information about those 4 topics and save it very, very easily. And then when you go to write something in that week, if you're writing about time management, for instance, you can go and reference that swipe file, and you can pull out some interesting information that you can share with people. And the same thing with curated content. If you're sharing other people's content as well, it makes everything really cohesive, like I said, and it makes your creation process a lot faster to just collect things all month. And you don't need to use all the statistics this week, but you can use, if you're doing the same topics again next month, you can use some of them the following month. So it really does make your job easier trying to create things. So from all of those things, it's really about getting focused on your basically who your clients are, what you do for them, and why it's so great to be able to work with you to get those things done. That's what you want to be putting out there. And in whatever it is that you do, if you do video, if you do blogging, if you do, if you're all about the images and that kind of thing, if you're on TikTok, that's okay. It's great to start with blogging, that's for sure. And basically, it's just time to get going, right? You want to get moving on what it is that you're doing. And just like we focus with our outbound marketing on working in 2 or 3 places, make sure that you're focusing on something really, really simple to start your inbound marketing. So, calls to action. If you do have a handout that you can, or, some kind of a freebie that you can put together, make sure that's your call to action on everything to begin with. Or you could have just a discovery call being your call to action, but make sure that you're using all of those things and, making sure that people are coming to your website, that people are coming to your blog, they're getting on your mailing list, no matter how big your mailing list is. You don't have to be doing a regular newsletter every week, but you need to be collecting those names so that you can actually connect with those people and reach out to them once they've found you. When somebody gives you their email address for any reason, they're very interested in learning more about you and building a relationship with you. And so whatever that means, whenever that is important at the time. So that's what we want to be doing. So you want to be working smart. You don't want to be trying to be everywhere. You want to be smart about where you are and what you're putting out. And it'll make your work easier, but it will also bring the clients to you. We talk about client attraction, and client attraction is not about some kind of, voodoo or anything like that. It's just being in the same place as your clients. Remember, our quote is that you want to be the content they want to consume, all of your clients or your audience. And so that's what we want to be doing, is identify what it is that's interesting to them, create that, and put it where they are already. Really, that's as simple as it gets. So what are you going to do to market your VA business? Again, you're going to do whatever works for you, whatever is comfortable for you, but it's important that it also creates results for you. That's all I've got for you this week. If you need some help with nailing down your marketing essentials, or creating great content, or deciding on your 4 topics, or doing any of your inbound marketing better, reach out to me at tracy@yourvamentor.com. I have helped hundreds of VAs through the challenges and got them on their way to the next thing, and I would love to do the same thing for you. I do private coaching, and my new mastermind, the Virtual Circle, registration is open now. Maybe one of those options is right for you. That's all I've got for you this week. Thanks for tuning in to learn to become a ridiculously good virtual assistant. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Ridiculously Good VA Show. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. For more great resources for your VA business, visit my website at yourvamentor.com. I'll see you back here next time.